Alright guys, for this video I wanted to go over a handful of things that I would recommend packing with you if you are planning on moving abroad, whether it be permanently or you're just going to be doing it for a couple years and you're not really sure how long. You're going to be busy with planning and doing, taking care of paperwork and scouting out locations to live, and there's a lot of stuff involved with moving, especially when it's overseas. And so you're focused on so many of the macro projects that some of the micro ones will just kind of go right by you. And if you haven't moved overseas before, you wouldn't even consider some of these things. I know when I moved, I've lived in a couple different countries, and sometimes just like, man, I would have never thought about buying this ahead of time. That's what I'm here for you. I'm here to tell you a handful of things that you really need to buy ahead of time. It'll either save you money, it'll save you headaches, it will just make your life easier. Now there will be a handful of countries where you might not have to do that. I'm thinking like Japan and South Korea. But the majority of countries, you're probably going to have to buy most of these things I'm suggesting. But always, I do recommend, before moving someplace, going onto Facebook and looking for like expat Facebook groups. Now, if you don't like using the term expat, that's fine. But just if you're on Facebook and you're looking for a group, that's probably the word you want to look for. So you'd look up expat Germany, expat Berlin. Really, the more specific you can be. If it's a major city, do that. But you'll be able to ask questions and find out, okay, do you have this stuff, or would you recommend me bringing it with me when I move? But this will give you a starting place, and most of these things you will probably want to take with you. But okay, number one, sheets. Sheets, bedding, all the... Okay, not blankets. You don't need to take blankets. You're going to find those anywhere, and blankets take up a lot of space. But sheets. Sheets you can pack with you if you're only bringing a few checked baggage. My experience, sheets in other countries, you're either going to pay a lot of money for decent to good quality, or you're going to end up getting stuck with total trash. And especially with the fitted sheet ones. Not good. Fitted sheets, not good. The mattress protectors are even more difficult to come by. Sometimes I wonder, it's like, does the United States, are we the only ones that really do mattress protectors? I can't tell you how many places I've gone to where you just can't find those. And I don't really want to live or sleep on this mattress because who knows what's happened. So sheets. Take sheets with you. Now, you don't have to go crazy with buying expensive sheets. Honestly, what I do is I wait for it to be fall and it's college. Everyone's going back to the dorms. You can go to Target and get just the cotton t-shirt fabric. And those are breathable. Those are easy to wash. They're easy to maintain. They're very cheap. And so if they get damaged at some point, it's not that big of a deal, but they're durable and they don't take up a lot of space. And so even if you're on a budget, you can pick up one of those and take them with you. And again, highly recommend taking sheets with you. All right, second, skincare products. You can throw in hair care as well. But if you have very specific skincare products that you use, and you have probably gone through different products, you've tested different products, you know what you like, you know what your skin can handle and what your skin doesn't like, starting from scratch is a real pain. And it just means you're going to have to spend more money testing stuff out. You're going to have to deal with your skin breaking out. You're going to have to, it's just blah. Like, this isn't to say that if you go to different countries in Europe, you're not going to be able to find quality products. You're going to probably find really good stuff. It's just going to take you a while to, experiment, pay money, different stuff. It's a pain. And Amazon, stuff like that, is not as prevalent as the United States, so you can't just ship stuff to you. So really, if there's specific brands or products that you absolutely have to have, take those with you. Like for me, I don't use anything crazy. I mean, I don't even really know what I'm looking at half the time, more than half the time. So I use The Ordinary because it's very affordable, and I think it works. I don't know, but I think it generally works. That brand can be difficult to find in other places, and you're not going to get the same, library of products. In very large cities, I can find a handful of The Ordinary, but I can't find normally stuff that I would use. I can't find. So whenever I go back to the States, I stock up on it. It's like, okay, I'm going to bring back what I need for the year, and that's good. Plus, the thing, if you've seen my other video on how to make money and pay for your trip and your move, if you shop through the Rakuten portal, you can get some solid cash back or airline points back for doing like that. I always do that because I know I'm stocking up for the whole year. I just wait until Ulta is giving 10% back, then I just buy everything. And then I get all those points back, and it helps pay for future flights. But anyways, skincare products. If there's anything you need that you have to have, take it with you. At least take a couple months with you so you have some time to figure out if you can find it where you're now living. All right, next, cold medicine and vitamins. Now, I like to stock up on just your basic cold medicines, your NyQuil, Dayquil, sore throat stuff. I get some Mucinex, head congestion stuff. I just get kind of the basics so that if I'm feeling, I don't have to go to the store and try to figure out what brand is good. Because a lot of times, you can still find products that have the same or similar ingredients, but they go by a completely different name. And that's just a pain to try to whatever. Especially if you're just feeling like junk and you don't want to have to just read through a tiny print of information. A lot of times in these other countries, they don't actually tell you the fine print of all the ingredients in the product. So it's even more of a pain to try to figure it out. So that's never good. And sometimes these, over the counter products, you still have to go to the pharmacy and talk to the pharmacist and ask for them to give it to you. Even though you don't need a prescription, it's still behind the desk. Which again, if you're not feeling good, you don't really feel like talking to anybody, and if you're not super fluent with the language yet, trying to describe your symptoms and what product you're looking for is, again, a pain in the butt. And there are times that the product just doesn't work as well. I found that regular brand NyQuil works better than the Walmart brand NyQuil. I'm pretty sure the ingredients are pretty similar, but the name brand for that works better for me than the no-name brand. So, highly recommend just stocking up on cold medicine. Put it in your check bag. I've never, ever, ever had anybody, there's never been an issue with, going through customs or anything like that. So I highly recommend doing that. Stock up for what you think you might need for a year. And yeah, you might want to ask ahead in one of those expat groups, hey, what kind of medicine would you recommend bringing with me? Because there might be certain things that people just don't have. Like I've seen in certain countries, everyone says, bring Tums. Bring Tums. It's impossible to find something that works that well in this country. So, yeah, so bring that. And with the vitamins, there are so many crazy vitamins you can find in the United States. It's super easy, and they come in, the bottles. You can go to Costco and get a 600 count of vitamin C for very affordable. I found in other countries, once you get past your basics, your vitamin C, your vitamin D, your calcium, your multivitamin, some of these sub-vitamins can be tricky to find. Like if you're looking for saw palmetto or certain, maybe you like beet supplements, or there's a mushroom that you think you supplement that, helps you think better. If there's any minor, not super vitamin C level vitamins, those can be difficult to find, and they're often more expensive. Also, often when you go to these different countries and you buy the vitamins, they come in blister packs. And that's just kind of annoying. So you have this blister pack of 15 vitamins, and that's good for 15 days, and then you got to go back to the store and rebuy them. It's like you just want a big, give me a bottle of 300 so I only have to go once a year, man. But they don't always have that. So highly recommend, if you take any vitamins, getting those ahead of time. I mean, if you're taking any kind of prescription medication, try to stock up on as much of that as possible as well, because your U.S. prescription is not going to work wherever you go. You're still going to have to make an appointment with the doctor and get a prescription from them. It probably won't be an issue, but you still have to set all that up. And when you're just moving to a new country, there's things that you just don't feel like dealing with. So take all that with you. All right, next, electronics. Let's start like cell phone, computer stuff. If you are on the fence of whether you need to buy a new one or not, get the new one now. The electronics is almost always going to be more expensive where you go. Unless you're going to Japan or South Korea, it's probably going to be considerably more expensive. There is a reason why you might be at the at like the mall or wherever, and you'll see a bunch of people, that obviously are from a different country, and they're walking out with all kinds of Mac products and whatever. It's like, wow, they must have a lot of money. It's not necessarily that they have a lot of money. It's that it costs so much more where they're from. A lot of these places have tariffs on, imported electronics from the United States and from these other countries, and so it's a lot more. And so if you want to buy a Samsung phone in, say, Spain, you're going to pay a couple extra $100 for the same model that you'd get in the U.S. So if you need a new phone, need a new computer, buy it in the States before you go. Now, your charger will be fine. The brick part of your laptop or your cell phone charger handles the current. And even though Europe and different places have a different electric current level, the little brick part will handle the conversion of that. So you don't have to get converters for that kind of stuff. You just need your plug adapter to be able to plug into the different sized outlets. So electronics, absolutely. Now, if you're moving like your entire family and you're buying a house and everything, you might want to look at bringing other electronics with you, because televisions, name brand televisions, are expensive, and a lot of the other locally produced televisions are not great. If you feel like it, I would recommend just getting like a projector. Then you don't have to ship a giant television with you. You can get a quality projector. They're not very large. But we can get, that's a different topic for whatever. But if you need electronics, get them in the States before you go. You'll save yourself money, and you know what you're getting, and you can get quality brands for less. All right, number 5, seasoning and spices. You can get almost any seasoning or spice in the United States that you need. Just about anything a recipe calls for, you're going to be able to find somewhere. That is not the case in the majority of countries around the world. In a lot of countries, they don't season the food like the United States. I can't tell you how often I've been told, like, in a different country, well, we like to taste our meat. We don't like to... It's like, no, there's an art to understanding how to season. It's like, just tell me that you like to paint in white and that's the only thing you like. But the fact of the matter is, there are a lot of seasonings you're just not going to be able to find in other countries. I mean, outside of like Mexico and Peru and a handful of Caribbean nations, the majority of Latin America does not use many seasonings. They don't season much. So if you're moving to Colombia or Argentina or Chile or, Panama, it's going to be more difficult to find certain spices and like more specialized spices. So if there's something that you're going to use, bring it with you. You're going to be able to find salt, pepper, garlic, oregano, that kind of stuff. The basics you're going to be able to find. But if you have like smoked paprika, you're not finding that. No. So, again, if there's certain foods that you have to live with, bring the spices with you. If you like spicy food, bring the spices with you. Even the red pepper flakes in Argentina, I could just drink them, and they are not hot. The hot sauce that they have here, I've had jalapeno ice cream in the United States that is spicier than the hot sauce. It's, again, you know what you like to eat, so bring it with you. I've talked to certain people, they recommend bringing vanilla extract, depending on where you're coming from or where you're going to. Yes, I myself, when I went back to Argentina, I brought liquid smoke because that's tricky to find. So, but again, spices, seasonings, if you know you're going to have, if you know you love it, pumpkin spice. Maybe you like to make pumpkin pie during the Thanksgiving. You're not finding pumpkin spice anywhere. so take that with you. But again, just some recommendations. You know what you like to make. Take them with you. All right, number 6, DEET bug repellent. And I mean the stuff that's marketed for military use or hunters or anything like that. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to tell you, bug spray in almost every other country sucks ass. It is not good. That stuff is terrible. I think it's an aphrodisiac for mosquitoes most of the time. Like you spray it and like they come with, it's not good. That stuff is not good. I don't know if there's just certain chemicals that have been banned in those countries or what. I don't know. Trust me, go to Dick's Sporting Goods or wherever, pick up that bottle and just keep it with you. Get a new one every year. It's well worth having it. So if there's a really nasty mosquito season, it's there. It's not going to take up a lot of space in your luggage, but you have it, and it's going to be a lifesaver because everyone else around you is going to be just, dying from mosquito bites, and you got that heavy-duty DEET stuff, and you're just living large. All right, and lastly, this is kind of a bonus thing, and it's pet-specific products. If you don't have pets, if you're not traveling with pets, forget about this. But I have found it's very difficult to buy certain pet-related products. Doggy poop bags. If I'm able to track them down in the country I'm at, they come in maybe a 2-pack, and there's maybe 10 bags on each one, and so I end up having to buy 4 at a time. I end up buying the entire store out, and then you got to track them down again. It's a pain. I hate doing it, and the bags usually aren't the greatest quality, so whenever I go back to the States, on Amazon, I get a box. It's something like 1,000 bags on rolls. It's maybe 50. I think it's like $20 for 1,000 rolls that I get. It takes care of the entire year. I mean, that's when I had 2 dogs. I have only 1 now, but that's good for like 2 years. So bring poop bags with you and lint rollers. I've been able to find lint rollers somewhere, but usually they're really small. They look like there's something that you might travel with. There's not a lot of sheets on it. I like, if you have a fabric couch, it's nice to be able to roll dog hair off or cat hair. If you have a long-haired cat, you know how crazy those things shed. If you have a Jack Russell, those things shed like crazy too. So I always go to Home Depot, get 2 rollers, then a couple spares, and those last me for a long time. And of course, dryers aren't that popular outside the United States. And one thing I always liked was I could toss a shirt in the dryer. It would not only dry the clothes, but it would suck off the dog hair. With all these other countries that don't use dryers, a lot of that dog hair, even after you wash it, gets stuck. And so you really need the lint roller. So lint roller. And then I like to bring a couple extra toys with me, because dog toys in the countries I've been in, the quality's not good and they're really expensive. I like to stop at a Home Goods in the States. You can get great deals on pet products at Home Goods. You can get a lot of dog toys for $5-6. And so I like to bring a couple with me and just kind of, sparse them out throughout the year. Like, happy birthday, happy Christmas, or whatever. So yeah, just pet stuff. But that's my list of stuff you might overlook while you're packing to move out of the United States into the next country that you're moving to. So look at these things, talk to the expat forums and Facebook groups for these countries, see if they recommend anything else. And if you've moved out of the country, and is there anything specific that you recommend people buying? Let me know in the comments, and then maybe we can do a follow-up video or just let everyone else know, and we can just kind of build a list. Anyways, that's about it. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. I got information in the about video section, so you can read more about the stories I write about, living in other countries and things like that. But anyways, for now, for myself, you guys just take it easy.